All right, so welcome. This is the first training module in the LEED Green Raider training. My name is Brett Little, and I'm the education manager here at the Green Home Institute. The Green Home Institute is a nonprofit with a mission to empower people to make healthier and more sustainable choices in the renovation and construction of the places we live. We are a LEED for Homes provider and oversee the LEED for Homes program, certifying thousands of projects across the world. A lead green raider is someone with experience in the residential industry with basic credentials in green building and who wishes to help the residential construction industry worldwide advance in sustainability. The intention of this module is to help you understand the basic requirements to become a lead green raider. After going through these requirements, you may determine that you need to stop here and achieve some other steps. If not, you can then register and finish the rest of the training, which is mostly all done on demand with 3 hours of live virtual training. You can download the slides for this presentation below if you are not on our Thinkific channel. So the Green Raider is a professional who is certified to help ensure the places we live are built better. They go out on site into the field throughout the construction to verify practices that are implemented to ensure buildings meet the LEED standards. The lead Green Raider must be third party and not have any financial stake in the project in which they are verifying. The Green Raider will contract with the lead residential provider and submit the project information to them, and then they in turn verify it and do quality assurance on the Green Raider, and then submit the documentation to GBCI. There are lead Green Raiders all over the world, now in many countries, so now this is a global program. So let's briefly review the 10 steps to becoming a lead Green Raider. We'll again go over them in small detail here, and then we will go into them in more depth as we go through each one. You can follow along in the details and specific links down in the details below this video. So the first one is to confirm your 3 years of experience in the residential industry. Once you've done that, take your Green Associate training. Once you've done that, become a LEED accredited professional. Once you've done that, get an understanding of building science. And then step number 5, you'll complete your GBCI Green Raider modules. Then step number 6, you'll start your Green Home Institute on-demand training modules. Step number 7, you will attend the 3-hour live virtual training. Step number 8 is you'll pass GBCI's Green Raider exam. Step 9, you'll submit your application for approval to GBCI. And then step 10 is really what you need to do to continue to maintain your Green Raidership, which is submit or be involved in 2 projects every 2 years. All right, so what is step number 1? And feel free to stop me. I'm looking at the chat or chime in. If you'd like, I can unmute you, so just raise your hand anytime and we can stop and go over any of these items if you have specific questions on any of the steps. But anyway, for step number 1, you'll need to confirm that you have 3 years of experience in the construction-related industry to apply to become a LEED Green Raider. Rather than giving you a list of what is required, note this is very subjective. For example, we recently had someone show they had 2.5 years of experience, but had a master's degree in building science, and so they were ultimately approved. If you are unsure, though, please do not ask me, but instead contact Green Raider at gbci.org and give them specific details on your experience to determine if you qualify. Now, I will say that's an exception. If you are also trying to qualify as a qualified professional to serve as the lead energy rater, which we'll discuss, then you do need to reach out to me. So if you're trying to do both at the same time, then we will work with you. You'll send us your resume, and in your resume, you need to highlight your 3 years of experience in the residential industry. We've had some folks look at their being involved in hospitality or other, long-term stay operations, and we've been able to use that as their experience in their resume. So if you're just trying to apply for a Green Rater and you're unsure, contact greenrater@gbci.org. If you're trying to apply for the qualified professional and the Green Rater, send your resume to us and we will review and let you know whether you meet those qualifications for the qualified professional component. Now, if you need more experience, we have some suggestions and advice for you. For example, Habitat for Humanity Worldwide needs volunteers like you to help them build homes for people in need. Many of those habitats do Energy Star certification or even LEED certification, so you can gain good knowledge as you help get experience. There is also a major construction worker shortage and lots of job opportunities, so you can consider to get the insights and experience you need. So if you don't have these 3 years, I would suggest you just stop now. That's going to take a lot of time. I would recommend leaving. There's nothing we can do really here. If you're really close, hang on a little bit longer and we'll go through the rest of the 9 steps. So once you've confirmed your experience, step number 2 is you need to become a LEED Green Associate. The second step is becoming a LEED Green Associate. If you're already one, you can skip ahead and go to the next section if you're watching this on the recording. The LEED Green Associate is a globally recognized sustainability credential that goes far beyond LEED and building to give you foundational knowledge of sustainability. Make sure you click on the LEED Green Associate training to get access to our course. In it, you will get access to the Green Associate Handbook. Please review it. If you become a GHI member, you can access the Green Associate Training and Practice exam for free. Then you will complete the GBCI exam. So you can see a visualization here of what needs to be done. Take our course with the practice exam, take the GBCI exam, become accredited, get your continuing ed, which we can help you provide you with, and then you move to the next step of becoming a LEED AP. So you can see here, step number 3 is becoming a LEED accredited professional. And so we will help you with becoming a LEED accredited professional in homes, but you can also pick B, D, and C. Again, if you're already this, you can skip ahead to the next section. The LEED AP homes makes the most sense and is most relevant, but BDC is allowed. AP and O&M and interiors are not good enough. Make sure to click the LEED accredited professional training link below. In it, you'll get access to LEED AP Homes Handbook. Please review that. If you become a GHI member, you can access the LEED AP Homes training and practice exam in either Homes or BDC for free. Then you will complete the GBCI exam. So again, it's just a repeat of the process of the Green Associate. It's the same thing. You'll choose, in this case though, you're going to choose your pathway, B, D, and C or AP Homes. Then you're going to take if you take Homes, you'll take the GHI AP Homes course and practice exam. If you're taking B, D, and C, we can get you access to an alternative practice exam and course. Then you'll take your GBCI exam, and then you'll become an accredited professional, and then you need to take your continuing ed and maintain it, which we offer that and help you do that. Okay, so step number 4 is getting an understanding in building science. Specifically, you need to have a thorough understanding of the basics of building science in the areas of building envelope, heat transfer, moisture transfer, and air transfer as demonstrated through at least one continuing ed in each of those areas. You may already hold one of these credentials or be working toward one that pre-qualifies you for this requirement. You might have a master's degree or bachelor's degree in some kind of mechanical or building science, ResNet, BSI, BPI, EU or European Union Energy Performance Certificates, ASHRAE, or Passive House. And there are many others that might qualify. Send us those, within your resume. If not, we have for a discount for you the 4-hour Building Science Fundamentals course that you can take, and you can use that to receive your requirements and understanding to meet this. But we need to take a little bit of a detour here for a minute. The LEED residential rating system requires that in addition to a certified LEED green rater, there must also be a qualified professional involved in the energy ratings and LEED. They ideally can be the same person, and so you might want to figure out how now, is that person you or someone in your company or someone you plan to contract out to? Maybe it's all three. The reason we are taking you in this detour here is that because before you go and take the 4-hour building science training, you may want to consider taking a little more time and taking the qualified professional training, which will ensure you meet the building science training requirement and ensure you have the skill set needed to certify a LEED project. So where does this come from? Here you need to review something called LEED Addenda 10443. If you're doing projects in the United States, you will become a HERS rater or ERI verifier, and that will be a much more complex and longer path than what you need to do if you're doing this work outside to become the qualified professional. So let's take a look at the addenda. Option one is at least have an associate's degree in building science. That will also qualify you for the LEED Green Rater step number 4 building science requirements. Option number 2, this option has two different parts. The first is the training and the second is the field experience. The training is required for you to take at least 12 hours, broken up into 4 hours each of building science, 4 hours of air sealing inspection, and 4 hours of insulation inspection training. You only need an additional 8 hours of blower door and duct leakage testing if you plan to do those kinds of tests, and you're not required to do them outside of the United States and Canada at this time. Here are the details of this course, all done on demand on your time with the modules. Once you complete this course, you will be compliant with step number 4 of the LEED Green Rater training, or 10 steps to becoming a LEED Green Rater. And for the 4 hours on building science, and then from there, you have one of two choices. You can continue down the qualified professional training pathway and get experience auditing 2 projects with a similar score, or now you can continue down your Green Rater training pathway and wait until you have a viable project to get your training. If you believe you already qualify as a qualified professional and do your training, send us your resume and we review it. What we'll be looking for is that you've had 2 projects that are residential or hospitality in nature that you've done inspections on from the beginning of construction to the end that included, energy efficiency testing and auditing. So be very detailed when you send us your resume on how those inspections took place, when they took place, what kind of things you looked for, if they had an energy label or score with them. A lot of times we have the ASHRAE people who have done audits with ASHRAE use that um, and give us the details on their ASHRAE audit on a multifamily or mixed use or hospitality building. We can accept those, but please send us your resume to review, and then we can let you know if we believe you ultimately meet those qualifications. If you want to be certified, we're also working with our friends at Building Science Institute. They have their level 1 and level 2 international verifier course, which you can get a discount on by being a Green Home Institute member, and we can help you get connected to that training. It's all done online, all done virtually. So let's summarize. Right now, we're still on step number 4, right, of becoming a Green Rater, and that's your building science understanding. So option 1 is you already have the basics in building science education through 4 hours of training, being qualified energy rater through some various program, or you have an associate's degree in building science. Option 2 is taking the 4-hour building science course we offer on demand on your time with a discount if you're a member. Option 3 is taking the detour and becoming a qualified professional and taking our 12-hour training course, or taking the BSI Building Science Verifier course, and then getting field experience on 2 different projects. Now, we have an alternative for you, and that is if you have LEED projects now that you want to get registered, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, you may instead have us assist as the qualified, you'll be the qualified professional, but we'll be mentoring you on those projects and walking you through the energy inspections of those projects to help you receive your qualified professional designation. So we can do that, and we have a virtual mentoring package that's available. And so if you've got two projects you want to get registered through LEED, we can walk through and do that, preliminary pre-drywall with you and that final inspection through virtual remote services across the planet to help you qualify for this requirement. Okay, so step number 5 here is to complete the online GBCI Green Radar modules. You can realistically do these anytime that you want. Some people complete them immediately, but they have to be done before you start our class. These modules are 100% free on GBCI's website. You just go in, you take the course, you take the quiz. I think they even give you continuing ed for them. There are 3 different modules, and right now, LEED version 4.1 residential single family, that is a global program. So everyone needs to take that module because it's available across the planet. But the difference here is for those of you working outside of the United States and Canada, you need to take version 4.1 multifamily. If you're working in the United States and Canada, you instead need to take V4 multifamily mid-rise overview. So really you're taking just 2 of these. And that's an honor system, that will have your certificates. I think it gets tracked in your profile so they would know if you submitted and didn't take it, if you were to be audited. But, we would prefer that you take it before coming into our class. That way, some of the basic information is answered, and you have it taken care of. Okay, so now, assuming you have all that done and under your belt, you'll be on step number 6 here. So again, you should ideally be an AP. You should have your building science information. You should have taken your modules. So step number 6 is really the start of our training. The rest of it is just to help you figure out how to get to our training because we noticed a lot of people needed help. So here you are you're watching. This is really the first module of our training. It's on-demand training modules. It has case studies and homework that you need to complete. You need to answer questions in the discussion forum. You'll need to review the agenda on our website. Most people need about 2 weeks to complete this, to get through the training and to understand the modules and to respond to all the discussions and the homework. And so when I say 2 weeks, I mean is we set a live course, the 3-hour live course, which we'll talk about. So give yourself 2 weeks time before that course to get these modules completed. The training focuses on LEED for Homes version 4 and for 4.1 credits. The LEED Green Rater may work on any version of the rating system. We'll be discussing third-party verification team's role, verifying the residential projects, why it's important, how and when third-party in-field verifiers need to effectively interface with the project team, and effective use of the LEED Green Rater residential tools designed to support the process. We will explain key objectives of the training and how the case study weaves through the training so that students will be able to effectively walk a project through LEED version 4 homes or LEED version 4.1 residential following the build scheduling phases. We'll define the responsibility of the LEED Green Rater in each phase of the project, identify the Green Rater's responsibility in the design phase, construction, and certification phases. We'll manage and conduct verification activities, what you as the Green Rater need to do to find the information that you need when you need it so you don't have to try to memorize everything like they make you do with the AP training. We will define what type of verification activity is required for each credit, define when photos can be used in the verification process. We'll define types of supporting documentation that can be used to verify credits, and we'll define performance test documentation needed by credit and define how to utilize verification and submittal guidelines. We'll be looking at calculators, managing the verification project, home size adjusters, how to do batches or individual projects, looking at performance pathways and credit achievements. You will need to be able to identify the location of key resources and how to find them when you need them, including all of the documentation and where to find it. Here is an example of the training module platform you're required to complete. You can see all the modules on the left. When you click on those, you will see the videos, and then you will see the documents and resources below the videos that you can download. You're currently here in Module 1. This session is Module 1, so by completing it, you're already taking your first step to becoming a Green Rater. Once you confirm you are on step 6 of the 10-step process, you can pay for the full course. If you have not, you can access Module 2 through 13 once you've paid and completed that session. Once you have access to the full videos and modules, you will see a discussion forum on each video. In every training, I stop and I ask a question, and you are required to answer it. You're not required to get it right, but you must show your work, how you got the answer, and make your best attempt. You can see examples of the discussion here from previous courses. Each question will be highly relevant to your final exam and prepare you to be successful to complete the exam. Now, I want to take you all down another detour here where we talked about mentoring and on-the-job training. Instead of taking the modules that I just spoke about, GHI's modules, and instead of taking our live training, which I'll be talking about in a second, you can take our alternative on-the-job training. So if you've got actual projects ready to submit, and you submit them under our purview, and you can look at that link that I sent, uh, we can bring your project online, and we can be the Green Rater of record and train you on the project. And this goes really well too if you're trying to become a qualified professional. We can do all of that, all of those trainings together. Typically, we can get you through the Green Rater trainings and get you submitted for your Green Rater certificate once we've completed the pre-construction plan review of the project. So essentially, we want to go through a whole plan review with you, an energy model, which we provide that as well if you need energy modeling services. And we just walk you through to make sure you understand LEED and have it be highly relevant to your specific project that you're working on. So in our modules for the training, there's a case study and you work on a project, you work through a workbook, but it's just a made up project. In this case, if you've got real project shovel ready, ready to go, and you get it registered with us, we can do this training, and it's really at a discount if you do it all together as well. And so we can walk you through the design plan review and have that count as your training instead. And then that can also, we'll go through the mid-construction and through the final inspection, and that can also help with becoming the qualified professional if you don't currently have, the energy auditing background. So again, assuming you've completed all these items, at some point you're taking a live training with us. Like I said, either that live training is a specific training similar to this that's open to everybody that we hold probably once a month or once every other month, uh, or we can do a specific training tailored just to you and your project. We can do one or the other. One thing or another, there's going to be some live training that goes on to do this. If you're taking the formal pathway, it's about 3 hours. If you're taking a project pathway, it's probably going to be, several more hours because that will be our time together going through the project plan review. So we'll be sending out schedulers from time to time for this training. The trainings are either done in groups, roughly 4 times a year, or we can do individual trainings. You cannot attend or schedule the live training until your modules are done, unless your training is a part of a project, an actual project we are working with you on to certify. We'll, like I said, be sending out from time to time a poll you can take. We'll be sending one out right after this webinar, and it'll ask for your availability on when you can take the next live training. Fill that out, and we won't necessarily select when you're available, but we will select when we have many people who are trying to get trained, so we will select the best time that everybody picks, and that will be the time we move forward with. So if that time doesn't work for you, your alternatives are to schedule a separate training with us at a higher cost, register a project, and we walk you through the project and train you on that project, or you just have to wait until the next month and take the next training opportunity that comes up. But you can still get your other modules done before that. All right, so once you've completed all of our training modules, you now need to pass the GBCI exam. Um, and if you're taking a real course with us, or if you're doing a real project with us, you'll probably just take that exam following the completion of the construction plan review process. Um, Immediately following the live training, you'll start your final exam. The final exam is $45 paid to USGBC. It's not covered in the cost of our course. The exam is open book, open note, and you have 6 months to complete the exam, and you must get an 80% passing rate. If you do not complete the exam in 6 months, you have to come back and retake the course with us over again. The exam is done virtually online. It's on your computer, and it's not proctored, unlike the AP or the Green Associate. It's very different. And so people ask me, how many times can I take this exam? Um, how many chances do I have before I have to pay again? And the answer is, it could be 100,000 times, whatever you can do in 6 months, right? It doesn't work that way. You have 6 months to take it. You can take it as many times as you need. And during your training, we'll go over some tips and tricks at the end during the live training session on how to be successful at taking this exam and how to pass it. That, has worked for everybody I've given it to. Now, once you pass your exam, you need to prepare and submit your application to GBCI. Once you've confirmed you've met all the requirements, then you'll fill out the application, sign your Green Rater contract, and send your documents into Green Rater at GBCI. So if you scroll down in the modules, you can look at the form here and you can review it in detail in the contract, and you can make sure you meet all of the requirements. Again, those are all the same requirements we just went through in detail in our 10 steps. They're just spelled out here specifically. So, if you meet all of these requirements, you can submit your final application to GBCI. Again, during the live Step 7 training, we will show you how to submit a successful application to GBCI so that it doesn't slow down your acceptance within the program. And here's an example of what that would look like. And I kind of joke with people that this will prepare you for submitting LEED certification. These applications, they're very strict on what they require. So this is an example of a perfectly written email from one of our trainees, all the attached documents to them. We will guide you on how to put this together during the live training and submit that to GBCI so you can be certified in the program. If you don't follow this, it can become very difficult to get certified by them and can delay you. So we will guide you on that final submission. And then step number 10, this is really ongoing to maintain your Green Ratership. First of all, I should mention, mentoring is not required, but it's highly advised. If you have a high priority project seeking tax credits or incentives, you want to make sure you have a mentor to avoid any issues or reduce any legal risk if the project does not succeed. GHI has mentoring services which we can assist you on. And again, you can use those mentoring services to alternatively train you on a real project you have and to get you the qualified professional for the energy auditing component. Or you might have all that and you just might want an extra set of eyes to help you through the project. We have those mentoring services. But outside of that, you before you commit and go through this whole process, think to yourself, will you have a project every 2 years? And will you be involved in a project two projects every 2 years? They can be the same project. Sometimes we have projects go on 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got a project going on 6 years. I've heard of a project that went on 8.5 years. And so if you have an active project, even if you're submitting documentation, that counts. So if you've got a long-term project, those count for having involvement in two projects every 2 years. They can be the same two projects. But I always tell people, think about your future. Is this something you're planning on doing? Because if you don't have two projects, you'll likely be removed from the program. But we have, um, some other options to help you out with that. Um, and again, we help with that qualified professional training on site. So this is the 10-step process, specifically in regards to the four of the 10 steps, section 5 through 8. These are directly related to your LEED Green Rater on-demand training and live training only. The rest of the steps 1 through 4, and again 9 through 10, fall outside of the purview of our class. But we will discuss them anyway to help make sure you understand and we can help you achieve these results. So again, the Green Home Institute, we're a nonprofit to empower people to make healthier and more sustainable choices in the renovation and the construction of the places we live. We hope you'll join us and expand our mission to ensure green residential building is attainable to everybody across the globe. I look forward to meeting each of you in class and assisting you in becoming a LEED Green Rater. Please register for the full class now and get into the modules or submit a project now, and we can start going over those immediately. Otherwise, we can help you achieve many of the other steps and can give you resources on achieving those steps if you haven't yet. So that's the end of this question thing, but you can reach out for any questions if you have them.